also the biggest thing I noticed on Saturday? It seemed like even though the teams are doing great, a new life is brought in with one of the best players back in Winnie. What can you attest to him coming back into an already thriving locker room?
Yeah, no, he's been great. He played Friday, Saturday. Was it Friday, Saturday? Yeah, he played the 2 games. He was pretty good up there, but you can tell he hasn't played in a while. Tonight he was really good, like really good. Their line, as a group we were fantastic tonight, but it adds an element of depth. Like now we keep Gucher's line together, Winnie, Kenny, Pritch, and then we almost have like just call it the 4-man line with Kress, Ebbs, Frank, and Coop, and then we're rotating them through. Like even tonight, like we were able to match against Harper's line press that group of 4, and then it allows our other guys to just play offense, and then it's just like you just build momentum through that, and it's just like he adds another dimension to our group, so it's great to have him back.
And Mason Millman, the defenseman who was good for the Phantoms in our year that we didn't play last year, is of course having success down here this year. What can you tell about him coming in? Obviously didn't play all this season, but is getting his feet under him and is looking fairly solid.
Yeah, he played well. He's getting better. Like this is his 3rd consecutive game with us, and I think he's gotten better every game as well. And for Millie, like super skilled kid, can make plays offensively. Like for him, simplifying on his outlet passes, even neutral zone, D zone, like get it, move it north, and then go. Instead of going back looking for the perfect play. Like sometimes for a defenseman, your first play is your best play, and when he does that, he's really good because then he gets to play in the O-zone more, and then that's where his strengths are. And he, even tonight, the power play did a lot of good things up there. He walks the blue line really, really well. Like he could be playing his overage year in the Ontario League right now. So I think sometimes people forget when kids like that get sent to our league. Like there's a long way to go in the development for a kid like him, and he's the sky's the limit. Like there's no reason why he can't play in the NHL, and he's going to get stronger. He's going to work on his game here, and we're happy to have him. And we're going to help him get better, and hopefully leads to us having success. And in turn, eventually he'll get back to the American League.
Yep, and then Eric and I were both wondering this, but the second period you guys came out a little bit late. What was said in the locker room to pump up the team after it looked like it was kind of a morning skate getting the feel together in the first period?
Beats me. I go at the same time. It was pretty quick. I thought we were good in the first. It was just, shots were 9-9, but like they were getting more, we call it Corsi shots, like everything on the perimeter. The goal, it's like sometimes teams are going to score, they float one, get a bounce, it goes in, but they didn't do anything. We controlled most of the play, and I think from our standpoint, it was like, hey, we're coming, keep that mentality, possess pucks, and eventually they're going to wear down. Like if you got to play in your D zone all game, you're going to run out of steam, and we just did that, and you could see kind of eventually the dam broke, and then all of a sudden, game over really, with 10 minutes to go in the second. We're halfway through the game, it's 4-1 or whatever. So, I didn't say anything magical. I'll tell you that for free. So.
Okay, no, sure, yeah, I was just curious by that, but when it comes to, you mentioned Millman with being able to just kind of make the nice first play, always get the puck through from the line. Someone I've noticed like that most of the season since he's been here is Cormier is very good at kind of reminding me of almost an NHL guy. Like Klingberg gets the puck through on every shot. He's like the ECHL version of that. Like, what do you attest to the fact that even if there's like a Game of Thrones army in front of the net, he seems to find a way to get that thing?
Yeah, I think for us, like we've really harped on our D. Like, just don't aimlessly throw a puck at the net, like as a group. Like, I think sometimes the first instinct for a D is like, all right, well, I'll get it by that first guy, but we might not have traffic at the net, and we're pretty much, our philosophy offensively is we're positionless in the O-zone. So when guys like Cormier are able to move their feet, walk the line, they're starting, Corms especially, like from day one of the season to now, like, again, you talk about player development, like he's done a great job, and he's worked at his game, and he's playing so well. And you're right, like he's starting to figure out, okay, we've got a guy at the net, now I can take a step and I can put a puck there instead of just aimlessly throwing it with no traffic. Like he's now starting to make those reads where if there's no traffic, he'll hold it, we'll roll down the wall, we'll high cycle, we'll exchange up top and try and create another breakdown where we can get to the net. But when he sees that we've got those opportunities to get pucks to the net, he does a really good job, getting them there with traffic, and then we create outnumbered situations at the net.
Yeah, and then obviously the organization signed a lot of Garrets recently, but McFadden and Cockerell have done very well since coming into this team. Of course, Cockerell was here before, but what can you attest to both of them really just coming in and immediately seemingly fitting in like a...
Yeah, I mean, Coxie's one of the best D-men in our league. I'll go toe-to-toe with anybody, doesn't agree with that. Like he just makes the game easy out there. He outlets the puck. He's good offensively. He competes. He'll fight. Like he's kind of old school. And he's a big part of our group. Was 2 years ago. We knew the situation that he might not be joining us till Christmas this year. He's finishing his degree, which is awesome. McFadden, the guy that Lehigh signed, obviously, but out of Canadian University at Acadia, he's been great. And I think today was his best game too. Like he was outstanding. He's starting to get comfortable. Hopefully there's an opportunity for him in Lehigh here soon if he keeps doing what he's doing. So, like I said, Patty, he got banged up early, and we went with 5 and just kept rolling. I think our D-core is as good as any in the league, if not the best. And those two guys have added a big element to it, and it's credit to them. And our D-core as a group has been outstanding.
My last question would be on, obviously, Patty Nags. Nagel started the season here with you guys, worked his way up to the AHL Phantoms, talk about guys developing, and is now playing for the U.S. Olympic team. Can you speak to how proud as a coach you are of him?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I'm pumped. Like it's great for him. Great guy. Like I say it every time we talk about him. Like just a good person first, but then a really good goalie. And we've seen it. I don't think he's lost in regulation in Lehigh this year. And kind of everybody's disappointed the NHLers didn't go, and then you get to see a guy like him get that opportunity. Like you're pumped for him. Like I know Brady Robinson, the goalie coach with Philly, told us about him. We were pumped. Like so happy. Like I said, he's a great guy, and I see a guy who's grinded it out, and he's kind of become an American League goalie at a really late stage of his career, and hopefully it continues for him, and hopefully he gets some games in over in Beijing and wins them. As a Canadian, you want Canada to win, but I'm definitely pulling for Patty, and hope they do really well, and nothing but great things to say. And I think everybody in the locker room when we heard that he got named to the team was pumped. Like it was. That's where you can tell a guy's really universally, loved by his teammates and stuff like that happens. It was just, guys were pumped. It wasn't like, oh, what are we going to do? We're down a goalie in the organization. It was just like, man, Patty's going to the Olympics. This is awesome. Like that's so cool, So we're really happy for him, and like I said, I hope they come home and they've won it, and he does a great job, and he's a big part of it.
And then the last thing actually that you brought up in that is the goalies not being afraid of anyone leaving the organization. Doesn't that have to go with how well this team, it really started when Hextall came into the GM, but kind of has drafted and developed goaltending, and also has signed undrafted goaltenders and developed them from your level up to the AHL. Like, doesn't that help to be able to say, like, we would love you to stick around because you're so good, but we have the ability to let you honor your country because we have so much.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think anybody's holding the guy back to go to the Olympics, but at the same time, like, Sandy's taken a huge step this year.
Mm-hmm.
Even Urson's been banged up. They bring in Metcalf. He's been good. NHL guys they're great goalies. Obviously, they're in the NHL, and then you look at Usti. I think he's at .935 since I think maybe Christmas or December 1st.
Yeah, like one of the hottest goalies.
Yeah, so it's like we knew Usti had that in him. It was just, geez, he was off for a year, and everybody's like, oh no, the world's ending. He's struggling. Well, like I went through a part of my career when I played, and I didn't play for 18 months. Like it's hard to get your game back. So he worked hard at it, and now he's rolling, feeling good, and it's like. Like I said, maybe there's a time this year, hopefully Usti gets a chance in Lehigh to, prove himself again, so it's good, they do a great job. Like I said, Brady Robinson, who we work with a lot he does, development coach for the goalies, like he's awesome. I know he does an outstanding job with the guys, and, we love it when he comes down to work with our guys, and Usti specifically, but, the goalies, they've been good, that's for sure.
Thanks, Kirk. Tom, it looked like you guys were getting a little feel. Obviously, it's morning. You're usually morning skating at the time of the game. It looked like you were feeling it out in the first, but still getting chances, and then came out in bunches in the second period. Can you talk about kind of what was said in the locker room? Because you came out a little bit late in the second, and it seemed like all of a sudden it just immediately clicked at full force in that second.
Yeah, I think obviously it's a little different having those morning games, and I think in the first period it was just kind of giving it what we could. I thought that Adirondack played well in the first. And we were getting our chances, weren't able to finish, and then obviously coming out in the second, we knew as long as we just stay with the plan that it was all going to come together. So in the second, we just came out and kept going, got our chances, and finally were able to bury.
And then you talk about staying with the plan. Ever since the beginning of this season, the word I always used with this team was perseverance and stick to commitment. Even when we haven't been in first place, and you went on the run a couple months ago to get in first place, it seemed like this team was always structured perfectly with, we're going to do this, we always know we have to do this, and work at great. Can you speak to how great that is in a locker room to be able to keep everyone calm, even if there is a little bit of a storm, so to speak?
Yeah, I think, game in and game out, every team's going to come pretty hard. And so I think the way that, Coach structures it and everything, we all bought into it early on in the season. And even when things aren't going our way, we know that our structure is going to help us get through that. And so, yeah, I think that just our structure in general, as long as we just keep doing the same thing and doing it well, that it's going to work out.
And then I asked this to Coach too, but obviously getting back one of the best players in the league and winning is going to make a huge commitment when you guys already have a thriving team. Can you speak to just getting a guy that good of a playmaker back into the lineup when you're already thriving in first place?
Yeah, when he's proven himself in the in any league that he's played in. So obviously without him for a little bit, it was tough. But he's a great player, great leader in that locker room, and getting a vet like him back, I think it just kind of brought our team together, and just knowing that he was going to go out there and help produce. And I think, with the past 3 games that he's been with us now, you can see that with our production and everything as well. So I think that as long as, everybody kind of just keeps buying in, and he's going to just keep getting healthier and healthier and help us, hopefully stay in first place.
Speaking of keep getting healthier and healthier, Usti's been one of the hottest goalies in the league since December, coming off course, the offseason hip surgery. Can you speak to how much confidence that gives you and looseness as a team to kind of just thrive offensively when you know you got someone like him back there in that?
Yeah, I think both goalies that we have, they're very strong goalies, and I think that the confidence Usti has right now, and he's playing really well, obviously, as everybody can see. But I think just having him back there, even if we have a little letdown or a turnover or whatever it may be, we know that he's backing us out there. Both goalies, for that matter.
Yeah. Hayden also has been very good for you guys, and then obviously Pat. And I asked this to Kirk as well. He kind of said how proud you guys were of him. But what's your take on Pat Nagel, obviously starting here, going to the AHL, and now being an Olympian for Team USA?
Yeah, it's really cool to see. Obviously he's been around for quite a while, and I've known him from Michigan, and so seeing him being able to do that and get his shot in the Olympics is a really cool thing. And I know a lot of the boys are going to be following. I think they start up on Friday.
Yeah, it's later this week. The women's have been playing already. My final question for you: you guys have a game early in the week that was a morning game, then of course have all the way off to Friday. In weird weeks like this, is there any different preparation that kind of you have a day off after the morning? How does it work compared to normal actually hockey weeks where you have all the nighttime?
Yeah, it's obviously with this type of a week, obviously I don't even know what time it is right now, but it's early, so we're gonna have a little bit of time in between, and the travel and everything, the wear and tear during the season catches up to you. So everybody in the locker room I know is looking forward to having a couple days off from games and getting rested and just get ready for the 2 games this upcoming week.